Hello everyone and welcome. We're in a new season on the Division 2, and as always that means a new journey, and it means we do a full journey guide. That is this video. I'm going to be going over the entire journey today, giving you the best tips that I can to get it completed as quickly as possible. So let's get going. As you can see here, I have completed the whole of this season's journey missions in full. We'll go over it in just a moment. I'm going to describe how this journey works this season first, because there's a lot of questions around that. And at any point, if you just want to skip to the point that you want of this video, I'll timestamp each journey mission in the description. Check there, go click it if you want to skip anything. So first, how does it work this season? Well, what you're going to want to do first of all is focus on journey mission 3. You'll unlock your 3 active modifiers plus 9 passive modifiers, 3 here in the journey mission itself, and then through the objectives there's going to be 6 more passive modifiers there. So I highly recommend focusing on that. Now in terms of modifiers, there's no more really to unlock throughout this journey. It's just going to give you a lot of season XP, a lot of general XP, a lot of rewards, and you are going to earn a brand new currency. That currency we can see on the right hand side here as we click on objectives. Might not be able to see. Let me go to the last one here. There we go. 320 BTSU firmware. You'll be earning this new currency this season because you're going to be buying most of your passive modifiers. And where you buy them from, this is one of the biggest questions. It's at the base of operations, and next to specialization station, we've got this new recombinant station. We can go in here, and with that BTSU currency we're earning from the journey, we can buy passives. I'm going to recommend, I'm going to tell you how I did this to complete the journey, because we're going to be using passive modifiers throughout the journey, and you might want to select certain ones to get it done a little bit easier. Okay, now all I did really was work from the top down. As I was earning BTSU, I just worked from the top down. There are going to be a few of these that you are going to want to use to help with some journey missions, but if you just go from the top down and keep on buying as you go through the journey, you should be okay. But as we go through this guide, if I do mention something of importance, you might just want to get that out of the way quickly to make sure that you have it. Now, once you complete the whole journey, you'll see here that I still haven't unlocked everything. We've still got our wildcards. That's correct. You're going to get some more currency from the weekly scout missions as well. And yeah, this you're not going to be able to get everything on this just from completing the whole journey. So just bear that in mind. So let's start from Journey Mission 1. Journey Mission 1, 2, and 3 are pretty basic. We'll go through them. We'll give you any tips if you need them. So Journey Mission 1, you've got to eliminate enemies with weapons that have at least 1 mod on it. Make sure you're using a weapon with mods on. Simple as that. Kill 20 of them. You're done. Eliminate enemies with shades skills. Just kill enemies with skills. Deconstruct gear. 20 items. Deconstruct gear. Optimize gear. 5 items. If you're absolutely brand new to the game, I will show you how to optimize something. And right now, at the time of recording this, a very cheap optimization available. This won't be from Tuesday, though. If you're watching this a little bit later, this won't be here. But there's a Police 686 Magnum on sale at the White House base of operations. If you purchase this, or purchase 5 of them, and then just go into your build, go and find it, go into tinkering with it, and then the pistol damage is just going to cost this bottom right corner here, 2111. If I optimize that rather, that's a very cheap optimization, and that counts of 1 out of 5. Now the next optimization on that, if I want to do the same again, is going to be much more expensive. So what I'm going to do is buy 5 of them and optimize each of those 5 to get some very easy optimizations. Again, once this vendor resets, that might not be there, but there might be other items that do the same thing. So very easy way of getting that done if you want to get that done cheap. Once you've optimized 5 pieces of gear, the next thing is to complete the resource convoy activity. You got to do 3 of them. Again, just for real new players of the game, resource convoys are going to be open world activities. I'm quickly scanning to see if I can see one now, but you're going to see an red icon going from one control point to the other control point, and it'll be moving along the map. I currently have none available on my map, but just look for the open world activities on the map. If you see one moving, it's going to line from one control point to another. Hover over it. It says convoy or resource convoy. That's what you've got to go and do. 3 of them and you'll be done. You'll be able to move on to the next step, which is destroy weak points. Loads of enemies have weak points, just aim at them, destroy 20 of them. You've got to loot items of specialized or higher gear, 15 of them, just pick up items. And finally, complete the Lincoln Memorial mission on any difficulty, and nice and easy. You only need to do 6 of these to complete the journey mission itself and to get the journey mission rewards there. So once you've done 6 out of 8, if there's 2 that you don't like the sounds of there, you can leave 2. The only thing you're going to miss out on is the actual objective reward on the right-hand side. But after you completed 6 of these, you'll get the full journey mission rewards, and you'll have journey mission 2. So let's move on to journey mission 2 now. You got to complete bounties, free bounties. These can be any bounties whatsoever. Bring up your map, go to the bounty menu, go to any area, go into bounties, and complete any free bounties. You can make sure they're normal or easier ones if you want to do them a little bit quicker. You have to disable or destroy enemy gadgets, and that's going to be 10 of them. Lots of enemies in the game are going to have gadgets. It does need to come from an enemy, so it's not like you could just go somewhere that has drone spawns, like at the start of the Tombs mission in New York. It's got to be an enemy that puts out a gadget. So those little cars that go out, or drones that enemies send out, or anything like that. Black Tusk's great for this. All factions have some gadgets. I'm going to show you a nice way that I get this done now, though. If you are comfortable with it, you might not be comfortable with it, so don't worry about it. It's a nice and easy one. If you go DUA and go Legendary, they are free Johnny 5s right at the start of the mission. So what we can do is, we can just start the mission, kill a Johnny 5 or kill all 3 if we can, restart it, and keep on going until they're dead. It's going to be the quickest way to do it if you have a build that's comfortable. I'm just going to throw on like a blue striker build here, which started to prototype as well, by the way. But we're just going to throw on this. We're on Legendary. And as we run in here,
don't let anything stand in your way.
We're going to look for the Johnny 5. There he is. And we're going to take him out. And yeah, it is Legendary. You might die. But as long as you get one of these done, there's 2 more that are going to be there as well. You've got an Elite. You've got Purple. There's 1 done already. And you've got a red as well. So potentially 3 gadgets right off the bat. And even though it's Legendary, with a nice little survivable build like I've got here, as you can see, we're surviving it. We're getting the gadget kills. He's getting away from me. But yeah, just you can do this over and over. DUA Hyena, so the normal faction that does this mission, in that first area, you can get one of those enemies that look like it's got a Wi-Fi symbol above his head. They will keep on sending out cars, so you could also just leave that enemy alive when it spawns, let them keep on sending out cars and destroy them that way as well. So nice and easy. After you destroyed the enemy gadgets, craft gear. Just go to your crafting station and base of operations. You can craft weapons or craft gear items here. Doesn't matter, they'll all count. Complete a stronghold on any difficulty. What I did with this, I matched this with complete missions on any difficulty. Doesn't matter what stronghold you do or what missions you do. But what I did was, I did this to charge up some Black Tusk retaliations. I went round the invaded missions on the map. I did the 3 invaded missions. And this week, as it stands, Manning National Zoo was invaded as well. So we did the invasion missions to knock all of those off. You don't have to do that, but if you want to kind of multitask and start getting some Black Tusk retaliations on charge, it's a good way of doing the stronghold and missions. You got to capture 3 control points. You have to recalibrate gear. You can recalibrate the same item for this, so just go into any of your weapons, or if you've picked up some trash or something, bring it up, and oh, not the Lexington side, let's say these gloves here. Just bring it up, recalibrate anything. So if I change that to skill tier now and then change it back to armor, change the skill tier back to armor, to skill tier back to armor, that would keep on counting on the 1 piece of gear. So you don't need to do 5 different items or anything like that. You can just use 1 piece and recalibrate it 5 times. And then you've got complete. So we've done that one. And then you got donate resources to allied control points. So when you take over the 3 control points, make sure you're speaking to the control officer you donated resources until you get to the 300. And that'll be done as well. Again, we can leave 2 of them that we don't like. Once we've completed 6 of these, journey mission 2 will be complete. Then on to journey mission 3. So this one, like I said, is the important one. Again, this is going to get your active modifiers. It's going to get you plenty of passive modifiers as well. First step here is to kill 2 enemies within 1 second of each other. You're going to do it 25 times. I'll give you a tip for this. You shouldn't need one really, but if you just want to farm this, Viewpoint Museum is going to be used a lot in this video. It has been every single season for the journey mission. It's our OG journey mission objective farm, Viewpoint Museum. And the reason being is because all of these objectives can be done on any difficulty whatsoever. You don't need to make it harder than it already is. We can throw this on story. We can get to the start of this mission, and every time on story, on Viewpoint Museum, you're going to have this set of enemies that spawn now right in front of me. So if you want to kill enemies very quickly, what we can do is just come here, and we can just kill these enemies very quickly on story mode. And that is going to count towards your any objective we're going to show you sort of in this video. And then you want to rinse and repeat that, just bring up your map and restart the mission on story, and you can keep on going again and again. So for this objective in particular, on Journey Mission 3, kill 2 enemies within 1 second of each other. You can keep on farming that till you got to 25. You have to eliminate enemies while in cover. Self-explanatory. Take cover, kill enemies. Eliminate enemies using shade skills. So again, we're killing enemies with shade skills. We're going to do 25 of them. Pretty sure we had that on the first mission as well. We're going to be doing it again. Destroy Warhound or mini tank weak points. So again, this is going to be, I call them Johnny Fives, but they're the mini tanks that's as described in this. You've also got Warhounds from Black Tusk. When you're playing Black Tusk missions or when you're playing Legendary, you'll see loads of these. Now, the mini tanks, rather than kill them, you could shoot their feet to break their weak point. And on the Warhounds, they have their knees as weak points. No. Just above the knees, like where the legs attached to the body, I think it is. They'll have weak points there. If you destroy those weak points, it basically immobilizes them, and that's what it wants you to do. You got to do it 15 times. So play invaded missions or play legendary missions and aim for weak spots on Johnny Fives or Warhounds. Perform 3 consecutive headshot kills while all 3 module stacks are equal. Well, this one, we'll explain this one for you. Got to do this 10 times. Now, if all 3 module stacks are equal, when we go into our modifiers, as long as you have nothing equipped, so I've got passive modifiers on right now, what I am going to do is I'm going to remove all my passive modifiers. And when I remove them, this will ensure that all of my modules are at equal value because it's the passive modifiers that are going to adjust them. So there we go. Offense 20, defense 20, utility 20. Now I've just got to kill enemies with consecutive headshots. You can aim for the head, or if you want to be a little bit cheesy and clever, we can throw on like a one-shot headshot build. I'm going to show you one of my favorites here. So this is a one-shot headshot build. We have got a 1886 rifle with Determined being the most important talent there on it. 1886 is nice. Use a sniper build as well for this. And then the build, I've got 2 breaking point pieces. We've got Habsburg Headhunter chest piece. We got Providence back with Vigilance. We have the Overdog's gloves and the Fox's prayer knee pads. Headshot damage rolled everywhere. Very brief there, but a lot of headshot damage. Determined on a rifle. Sharpshooter specialization. What we're going to do now is get some very easy headshot kills. So again, Viewpoint Museum. You don't have to farm it here. You can just play naturally. But we're looking for 3 consecutive headshots. With this build, I only need to hit the first headshot and hit 2 more enemies that don't have helmets, and it'll count. So if we have a look here, we have got 3 enemies. Not that one, he's got a helmet. So we're going to headshot on this first guy, and then we're going to get the other 2. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Easy as that. I can then just go here, restart the mission and do exactly the same again. On story, you get the same spawn every single time. So if we did that 5 times, we would be done with that journey mission. And yeah, once you get the first headshot, the second shot can go absolutely anywhere. It'll count as a headshot with that build. So that's that one done. Eliminate obstructive virus enemies with headshots. So the obstructive virus is actually one of the enemy modifiers. So we'll have a look at that. If we go into the seasonal modifier and go to hostile modifiers, we're looking for the obstructor virus, which is this third one here. So this icon is what you're looking for above the enemy's head. The description of it is: eliminating this enemy with anything except the headshot disables one of your passive modifiers, chosen randomly. Eliminating 3 enemies or leaving combat removes the effect. So basically, just play the game, look for enemies with that, and when you kill them, it will count towards this objective. The build I just shown you would be great just to play naturally and just keep on, hitting headshots, killing things with headshots, because the body counts will count for headshots. You'll get this done without even thinking by using a build like that and just playing naturally. But this is the icon that you're looking for above enemies' heads, and when you kill them with a headshot, that is what is going to count for this objective. And once you've killed 10 of them, it'll be complete. Next is eliminate inversion field enemies from a distance of 20 meters or more. It's 10 again, so we're going back to the modifier again here because this is again a hostile modifier, and the inversion field enemies will have this icon above their head, but also they're going to have a big red sort of aura around them, radius around them. So this enemy will generate a 7.5 meter radius field within which any bonuses granted by the modules with the highest stacks are reversed. Eliminating this enemy grants immunity to inversion fields for 10 seconds. So you just got to kill them from over 20 meters away. Nice and easy. And then finally, for the last objective of Journey Mission 3, we have to eliminate system drain enemies without receiving any damage from them. 10 of them as well. Again, we're going to head back to the modifiers, go to the hostile modifiers here. And this is this one, this icon with like the 3 spikes, system drain. When this enemy damages you, the stacks in all modules are reduced by 2 per hit to a maximum of 20. This effect persists for 10 seconds. So basically, you just got to kill the enemies with this above the head without them hitting you. Just play naturally, you're going to get this done without even thinking, to be honest with you. So that is Journey Mission 3 complete. Again, we can leave 2 of them that we don't like the sounds of. Once we've done 6, we can get all the resources there, which is season XP, active modifiers, and some more passive modifiers. And then that brings us on to Journey Mission 4. Now, each Journey Mission after this, up to 8, is going to be focusing on a particular active modifier and passive modifiers, okay, and making you adjust your stacks. So this is where we're going to try and explain how easy these can be for those that are struggling with any of them. We'll start with Journey Mission 4. So Journey Mission 4 is all around the Blackout Pulse. It wants you to level up Blackout Pulse. So on the I'll just show you this once. So I'm going to go in this every single time that we go through these missions. But the active modifiers, you've got 3 different ones. You've got the Blackout Pulse, Cloud Armor, and Optimize Overload. So whenever it says level up one of these, this is where you're going to want to come. You want to put Blackout Pulse on, and all you're going to do to level them up is use it. This season, they level up very, very easily. If you're playing in a group, it'll go slower. But if you just play solo on any difficulty, just complete missions, farm, do what you like, you'll get Blackout Pulse and the other 2 up to level 5 before you even know it. I've been doing retaliations with these, and literally within 1 or 2 retaliations on Heroic, they've been done. It goes up that easy, and I've been in a group and I've been doing that. So very easy to farm levels this season. If you remember previous seasons where it's been more difficult and we gave you like cheese ways of doing it, not needed to cheese. Just put them on and level them up. With the next objective, you have to shock 3 or more enemies with 1 activation of Blackout Pulse. So when Blackout Pulse is equipped, you've got your ult, it's T on keyboard or up on the D-pad on controller. Just activate it and make sure it hits 3 or more enemies. Do that 5 times, you're done. Disable or destroy enemy gadgets. We had this one before. This is the same as the one that we had. Was it Journey Mission 3 where we had this? No, it might have been Journey Mission 4. Yeah, disable or destroy enemy gadgets. So we already had to do this before. It's exactly the same again, but you've got to do 50. So again, you can farm this on like legendary missions at the start of DUA and just keep on killing the 3 mini tanks there. That's too difficult for you. Just play Black Tusk missions and keep on killing enemy gadgets every time they're deployed, and the mini tanks, once you got 50, that is done. Activate Blackout Pulse 3 times within 2 minutes. Let's just go and have a look at Blackout Pulse here. So we're going to do it 3 times within 2 minutes, and it's on a 90-second cooldown. So if you do the math on that, you can't activate it 3 times in 2 minutes. However, let's level it up a little bit. Let's get it to level 3. When we're at level 3, Blackout Pulse cooldown is reduced by 20 seconds. And you can increase that because 1 second per defensive stack. But even at 20 seconds, that's only going to bring the cooldown down to 70 seconds, which is still not enough. So what we want to do here is we want to go and throw on a passive modifier to help us. And if we go to defense and go to saturate, make sure we've got this unlocked, we can increase the defense stacks by 25. So we're going to do that. All of a sudden, defense is now 45 stacks. And when we go back to the active modifier and we go to Blackout Pulse, it's now going to be 45 seconds. So we're going to have a cooldown of 45 seconds, which now makes this much more doable. And what you can do is you can just stand there with a 45-second cooldown. Is I can hit Blackout Pulse, That's the start of the 2 minutes now. Within 45 seconds, I'm going to be able to hit it again. So I'll just wait here and I'll wait for the 45 seconds to count down, hit it straight away. There'll be another 45-second cooldown, and as long as I hit it at the end again for a third time, we'd have activated it 3 times within 2 minutes. So next, we are going to eliminate pulsed enemies while having at least 15 utility stacks. And we need to do this 15 times. So again, we're going to want to go and have a look at our active modifiers and have a look at where our stacks are. So right now, even if you have no passive modifiers on, okay, you're going to need the blackout pulse again, so make sure we got the blackout pulse on. But our stacks right now are 20, 20, 20 because we've got everything leveled up. Now, if you are less than 15 utility for whatever reason, just go and throw on like a utility mod. Any passive mod that is going to increase your utility. There's one that increases by 5, 10, 25. To just throw whatever on. Increase your utility so it's above 15. Once it's above 15, you've just got to use Blackout Pulse to hit targets and then eliminate them. It's as simple as that. You can use a Viewpoint Museum mission if you want to, or just play naturally and get it done. And that then takes us on to kill 2 enemies within 1 second of each other, while offense stacks are the highest. So again, like the one before, we've just done this on Journey Mission 3, was it? Yeah, kill 2 enemies within 1 second. So the same again, we're going to use Viewpoint Museum for this. Same strategy as shown you, story, to kill the enemies at the start. But this time, we just got to make sure offense stacks are the highest. So going into our modifiers here, with no passives on whatsoever, offense are not the highest, the 20, 20, 20. So we just got to go in and add any passive modifier that will increase the offense. Just that. We can just go that. And that increases it by 5. All of a sudden, offense is the highest. It's higher than defense, it's higher than utility. As long as we've done that, we just do the same as we did before at Viewpoint Museum and just keep on killing enemies within 1 second of each other at the start and rinse and repeat until it's done. Next objective is eliminate shocked enemies while having at least 15 offense stacks. Now, I got this naturally because I use the St. Elmo's regular, so most of my builds I'll have the St. Elmo's. This gets a shock mag every now and then, so if you're using a St. Elmo's and you've got your offense stacks at least above 15, so again, even as standard, once they're leveled up, they're 20, but just throw something on to make the offense stacks above 15 if you need to. And if you're using a St. Elmo's, you're shocking enemies, you're killing them, you'll get this done naturally. I don't think you need to farm it any other way, really, but if you don't have the St. Elmo's and you want to shock enemies, well, if we go into our skills, we do have a shock trap. If it's available to, just throw the shock trap on and you'll be able to just, again, Viewpoint Museum at the start, put it on story, throw the shock trap on the enemies that are there and then kill them, restart, rinse and repeat until you get it done. And then finally, destroy weak points while having at least 20 offense stacks. Did this earlier on an earlier journey mission. We had to destroy weak points. Well, we're destroying weak points again, exactly the same as before. We need to do 30 of them, any weak points on any enemy, but we've got to have at least 20 offense stacks. So again, just go into here and make sure that you've got offense stacks at 20 or more. If you're less than 20 because you haven't leveled them up yet, just go and look at your passive modifiers, increase them with whatever you've got available to you until they are 20 or more. As long as they're 20 or more and you're taking out any enemy weak points, this will happen naturally. And that is Journey Mission 4 complete. Remember again, we can leave 2 of these that we don't like the sounds of. We only need to complete 6 to complete the Journey Mission and claim our rewards. We'll then move on to Journey Mission 5. Starting at the top is level up Cloud Armor. So same as before, just go and put the Cloud Armor active modifier on. Once you've got the Cloud Armor modifier on, anything you do will level it up nice and easy. It's probably going to go quicker solo. Then we've got to activate Cloud Armor while armor is under 30%. So I'm just going to show you how I did that now. If we just go and get the Cloud Armor on, I'm going to remove my passive for now. We're going to switch Blackout over to Cloud Armor. And I'm going to go, it can be anywhere. We're going to use Viewpoint Museum because that's what we do. We're going to increase the difficulty a little bit this time now because we want to get below 30% armor. And we need to make sure we have the modifier ready to use because we just switched it on cooldown. So we're just going to wait for that cooldown to run out. And there we go. It's cooled down. We're ready to use it with T. I'm going to run into the start of Viewpoint Museum. And what I'm going to do is let the enemies damage me until my armor is below 30%. Pretty much, you know, just low armor. Doesn't need to be perfect. But if we just let the enemies know we're here, they'll start doing damage to us. And we'll just watch our armor go down. And when we think it's below 30%, I'm going to jump into cover. I reckon that's about now. I think we're good. We can use it. Once we've used it, we'll start getting armor back. It doesn't matter if we die at this point. You can see it's giving me armor back. That's what this does when you use it. But we can just reset the mission once we've used it and do the same again. We're going to have to wait for it to cool down again though. So be back on cooldown. But just keep on doing that and keep on using it until you're done. Next, we have to use Cloud Armor to restore allies' armor while having at least 20 defense stacks. Now, don't get confused. It says allies. You can just do this to yourself. So we're just going to do it 20 times. I'll probably focus on this naturally while just playing other stuff and going through other stuff and being honest with you. But you can just stand there and get it done. But you just need to have 20 defense stacks. So we want to go into our modifiers, make sure we're at 20 defense stacks. If you're lower for any reason, just go to your passives, go to your defense, and make sure you throw something on that increases your stacks so that the defense is 20 or more. Once you've done that, you can just stand wherever you want. It doesn't matter. I don't know if you need to be in combat or not, actually. You might need to be in combat. So as long as you got it available like I have now, just in case you do need to be in combat, I'm going to run into combat. You can check this yourself. I could probably just stand where I was and do it. But when I'm in combat and we shoot these, I'm just going to hit it. And that's going to count as 1 out of 20. I can then reset the mission. And I can go again. But you can see why I'd say just do this naturally while you're playing. As long as you've got the 20 defense stacks, you're hitting it every time that it's available, then you'll be adding to the 20 that's needed to get it done. And once you've done 20, you'll be done. Next is eliminate blinded enemies while having at least 15 offense stacks. Doesn't really matter what your active modifier is. You just need to have at least 15 offense stacks. So make sure it's 15 or more. Throw on a passive modifier if needed to increase it to get 15 or more. And then all I did is I thrown on a blinder Firefly. So Firefly, blind. I used Viewpoint Museum. I went on story, I ran into the start, and I blinded the enemies, and I killed them. And I just did that until I got the objective complete. So I'll just show you one round of that now. Here they are, they're out in front of us. I'll take cover. I'm just going to blind these. Make sure that they do actually have the blind above their head before you kill them. As soon as I see the blind symbol, I can kill them. And there we go. Do bear in mind that sometimes with these modifiers, including that one, things can get a little bit inconsistent with the kills and it might not go up sometimes. Remember that some hostile modifiers will remove your stacks. So if you go below the 15 required for the offense there, it's not going to count when you get the kill. So if you're getting kills while they're blinded and you're thinking, why isn't it counting? It's probably because a hostile modifier has just decreased your stacks. So you're not currently at the stack requirement of 15 to get it done, if that makes sense. But just keep on doing that. You'll eventually get it. Eliminate enemies while in cover and defense stacks are the highest. So I'm not going to show you how to do this because you just got to be in cover and kill enemies and 50 of them. But defense do need to be the highest stacks. So again, we're going to just make sure that's the case. Right now, 20, 20, 20 across the board ain't going to work for me. So what I'll do is I'll go to passive modifiers. I'll throw defense one on. I'll make sure defense is higher than the other two. And then when I'm in cover and I'm getting kills, they will count. And nice and easy one to get done there for you. And then for the next objective of 5, we need to kill enemies within 10 seconds after activating Cloud Armor. We have to do 25 of these. You could probably tie this in with others. Like, we have to up here use cloud armor 20 times like before. So if you're doing that naturally while you're doing retaliations or something, you'll probably naturally get this done. Basically activate cloud armor and kill enemies within 10 seconds afterwards, and it'll count towards kills. Then there's destroy weak points while having at least 15 defense stacks. So we've had this one before where we're killing weak points. This time we're killing weak points again. Any weak points on enemies are going to count. However, we do need to have at least 15 defense stacks. So make sure when you're here, you've got at least 15 defense stacks. If you haven't got 15, just use the defense passive modifiers here to make it 15 or more. Just throw some on, make sure it's 15 or more, and that will work as you kill the weak points. And then finally, eliminate enemies less than 7 meters away while having at least 20 defense stacks. So we can use Viewpoint Museum again for this if we want to. We can just do this naturally, but we've got to be right up close and personal within 7 meters of the enemy and get 30 kills with 20 defense stacks minimum. So again, just make sure you're at 20 defense stacks or throw on a passive modifier that is going to increase your stacks to get 20 or more on the defense. And with that, we are done on Journey Mission 5. Remembering again, we only need to do 6 out of 8. Once we've got 6 of these done, we can claim the Journey Mission rewards and move on to Journey Mission 6, which I think is the longest one out of all of these. Not that it's hard or anything. These are just a little bit more grindier. You're going to fly through most of these missions. I say 1, 2, and 3 is quite long, but then 4, 5 you'll fly through. 6 just a little bit longer, and then 7 isn't too bad at all. So let's go through Journey Mission 6. Level up, optimize, overload. So this is the final active modifier that you need to level up. Same as the other 2. Very easy to level up. Just play naturally, get kills. It'll level up very quickly, probably best solo than in a group. Use optimize overload to reduce skill cooldowns by a total of 1000 seconds. So let's get this done. I'll show you how to do it. I'm not going to do it all because it takes a while, but what we're going to do is throw on the active modifier, so optimize overload. And what this does is when you activate it, it reduces your skill cooldowns, so you can make this a little bit better and a little bit quicker by throwing on a passive modifier. It's not needed, but on level 3 here, it will reduce the cooldown of this by 20 seconds the more offense stacks that you have. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw on a passive modifier, and we're going to put saturate on, which will give us 25 offense stacks, and then we're going to throw on another one that is going to give us another 5, taking it to 50, and then we're going to throw on another which is going to give us even more, 60. So we've currently got 60 offense stacks, and when we go into the modifier here, we're going to see that it reduces the cooldown by 60 seconds, which means I'll have this every 30 seconds. Now, at the start of Viewpoint Museum, what we're going to want to do is we're going to throw on a hive, and we're going to throw on a trap. These are long cooldowns. If you throw on the shock trap or the shrapnel trap, it's 54 seconds. So we're going to throw on that. Then we're going to wait for the cooldown to happen. It's already happened. And we're going to throw these skills out. And we're going to destroy them once they're both thrown out. That's going to put both skills on cooldown. Once they're on cooldown, we're going to proc it. That has now reduced the cooldown of those skills. What we can do is, I believe if we start the mission, it refreshes it. So then we can just do exactly the same again. And our cooldown of our active modifier isn't long away. I've got 9 seconds to go right now, so I can start throwing these out again. I can destroy them again. And already I'm ready to press T again. And there we go. It's 30-second cooldown on T. We're going to run into the mission. I might just want to restart the mission right now. I'm going to run into the mission. That'll give me my skills back. And I can do exactly the same again. Just keep on doing this, and you'll have the 1000 seconds in no time that's needed to get the objective done. Just got to do it one more time. 2 more seconds on that, and there we go. I can press T again. As easy as that. Once that is done, we'll move on to activate optimize overload while both equipped skills are on cooldown 5 times. Well, with what I just explained to you, you're going to get that done at exactly the same time. Then we move on to eliminate enemies with overcharged skills while having at least 15 defense stacks. So we're going to need to be able to overcharge ourselves, and we need to have 15 defense stacks. Let's sort out the stacks first. So we'll go in to our modifiers, and we're going to sort out our modifiers now so we can get the amount of stacks that we need to, just like we've done with other objectives. We're just going to make sure we've got at least 15 defense. Right now, because I've got everything leveled up, I'm on 20 anyway. But if you need more, just use defense and get more stacks there. So you got the 15 defense stacks that are needed. Then what you want is like a skill build, or BTSU gloves as well. They work great. There's multiple ways of doing this. I've got this refractor build. I don't currently have any BTSU gloves on me, but I do have a backpack that is going to work quite nice. I picked this up the other day and I just did it this way. So this Axel backpack here, this comes with a talent Perfect Energize, where when I use an armor kit, it grants 1+ skill tier for 15 seconds. If I'm already at skill tier 6, it's going to give me overcharge. So by using the med kit, I will get overcharge for 15 seconds. And then I can do that every 30 seconds. With BTSU gloves, you'll just drop a hive, destroy the hive. That will give yourself overcharge as well. But this works also. You don't need to be perfect energized. It can be any backpack with energize on. It works the same pretty much. You just got to make sure you get yourself into overcharge. It's a 6 skill tier build because I've got technician on, and then I just want to make sure I've got skills on that can kill enemies with. So I'm just going to throw on a striker drone, and a assault turret is great for this. Because my hive's on cooldown, I'm just going to throw the drone on for now. And the start of Viewpoint Museum, again, what I'm going to do is just throw it on story. And I've got medkits on me. If I need to refresh my medkits at any point, I can just fast travel to a safe house or the base to refresh them. I'm going to go in, I'm going to take some damage. I'm going to use a medkit to put myself on overcharge. So I've took damage. I'm going to get the drone out. I'm going to use a medkit. That's going to put the drone on overcharge, and then the drone just needs to go and get kills. And then as it gets kills in that 15 seconds, it's on overcharge, it's going to count as getting kills with overcharge skills. Now, once that little icon on my HUD has cooled down, you can see I've just ran out of overcharge now, so the kills at this point aren't going to count. I've got to wait 30 seconds to be able to overcharge myself again, so I can play it naturally. I can just keep on taking medkits to go to overcharge, and then when I'm overcharged 15 seconds, any kills from that point will be counted towards the skill kills. It's as easy as that with that backpack and energize, or like I said, BTSU gloves to overcharge yourself. But this is how I did it. I did it at the start of Viewpoint Museum, and I just kept on refreshing it. I cleared the first area, and eventually you get all the kills that I needed. The next objective is to apply status effects to enemies while having at least 15 utility stacks. So let's make sure we've got at least 15 utility stacks. I've got 20 right now. If you're less for whatever reason, just go here, go to utility, and throw on some passive modifiers that increase it until you're 15 or more. And again, a skill build is going to help with this. I'm just going to use my normal refractor skill build this time. No, I don't need to have that backpack on. And I'm going to throw on a foam chem. So if we go foam chem here, a riot foam launcher, we've got the stacks that are needed on our modifiers, and we just need to foam enemies, add status effect to them. So Viewpoint Museum, story, all we need to do is go to the start of this mission and foam the guys that come out. You can foam them again, it'll count again. So just remember, if they've got anything on them that reduce your stacks, it might get a little bit inconsistent, so maybe stay away a little bit, don't take any damage. But I'll foam them, that'll count as those enemies being foamed. I can then watch them, and as they break free, I can foam them again, and it'll count again. And you can kind of see when they break free, they'll make a movement, and the foam will crack, and we can just foam them again. I missed one there. But you get the point. Just keep on doing this. If you run out of foam or whatever, or the modifiers, hostile modifiers are reducing your stacks, it's a little bit annoying or whatever, restart the mission and just do exactly the same again. Then we move on to use repair skills in different combat encounters while having at least 15 utility stacks. So exactly the same as what you just had. So whatever setup you used on your modifiers to get 15 utility stacks for the last one, keep it like that. And what you want to do this time is you want to throw on a chem launcher with reinforcer. So we're going to change it to reinforcer. And we don't even need to heal ourselves here. All we got to do is make sure we're in combat. So we're going to run in. We're going to make sure we're in combat with the enemies that spawn at the start of viewpoint. And once we are near them and they recognize you, you can just do that with the reinforcer, and you can restart the mission and do exactly the same again. And just keep on doing that. That's probably the fastest way to get that done. Again, just bear in mind hostile modifiers potentially reducing your stacks. If it doesn't work, it's probably that. Eliminate enemies with hives or seeker mines while having at least 20 utility stacks is the next one. So again, we're just going to make sure we've got the utility stacks. I've got 25 here, but we can throw more utility stacks on. Like, you can get loads. If you go saturate, for example, it puts it up by a ton. I won't go saturate, though. It removes the extra skill damage. But yeah, you just get the stacks 20 or above, and then on the skill build, just throw on some cluster seeker mines. So we're gonna go to seeker mines there, cluster, these are quite decent, and viewpoint museum, story, so they die nice and easily. And we'll just start this mission. We can do it on these enemies here if you want to, but the enemies at the start of the mission as well. Just throw out the cluster mines and that'll get kills. And there we go. So these would have been on open world difficulty, which isn't story. But what I can do is just restart this mission. Hopefully that wipes those enemies. It'll refresh your skill. It hasn't wiped those enemies because they're open world enemies. So maybe not engage with the open world enemies. Just engage with the enemies at the start of your mission. And these on story will die very, very easy. There you go. As easy as that. And then we can just bring up our map, restart the mission, and keep on rinsing and repeating until we get all the kills with seeker mines. And then the last objective for Journey Mission 6 is eliminate enemies with drones or turrets while having at least 20 utility stacks. So we're set up the same as before with 20 or more utility stacks, so we're doing exactly the same again, but we're going to switch to turret, and we're going to switch to our striker drone as well. So we'll throw a striker drone on. We've got a artillery turret on there, and start a viewpoint museum. You don't need to keep rinsing and repeating this, really. I'd say just go through the mission, probably, or just play naturally. You can do any mission on story. You can do anything you want. I'm not really a skill build player, so I did viewpoint museum on story. I went all the way to the end of the mission, and just before I completed the mission, I had the 50 kills that was needed. Just let your skills get all of the kills. Just remember, again, any hostile modifiers that might reduce your stacks might bring it below the threshold, and they might not count. So if they're not going up, that'll be why. But that'll be Journey Mission 6 complete. Remembering that you can also skip 2 of these. You need to complete 6 of them, accept your rewards by completing the mission, and then we move on to Journey Mission 7. This one's nice and fun. I did most of this in retaliation. So, Journey Mission 7. Eliminate enemies with hostile modifiers without being affected by them. You got to do 30. Do any activity that you want and just kill enemies. You are going to get enemy kills without being affected by the hostile modifiers. You obviously have to have the modifiers turned on for this. And yeah, that'll happen naturally. Don't even think about it. Eliminate Black Tusk enemies while having at least 20 offense, defense, and utility stacks each. So, Black Tusk enemies, you can do this numerous ways. You can do the invasion missions. You can do Black Tusk retaliations. As long as you're killing Black Tusk enemies and you've got at least 20 in each of your stats here. So if I remove all of my passives, once you've got everything leveled up, once you've leveled up all 3 of your actives, you are at 20 each. So you can just do that. Make sure you've got all of your actives leveled up to max to get 20 each in the stacks here, or you can use passive modifiers to increase them to make sure you've got at least 20. And yeah, that's all you need to do. So get these all at 20 or more and kill Black Tusks. Then we have to eliminate 2 enemies with different weapons within 10 seconds while having at least 30 offense stacks. We've got to do this 15 times. I did use Viewpoint Museum for this one. We do need to have 30 stacks in offense, so just make sure if you throw on something like Saturate offense, that's going to give you a big boost of 25. That'll put you at 30 more offense, which is fine. And then if I just threw on like my blue striker build, I had an Elmo's and I had a Lexington as well. And at the start of Viewpoint Museum, put it on story, and we just ran to the start. I think I used the whole first area for this, not just the enemies at the start. And I just got a kill, switch gun, got a kill, switch gun, got a kill. It was as easy as that. So they line up for me here. So I'll just kill one enemy, switch gun, kill another enemy, switch gun, kill another enemy, switch gun, kill another enemy, and just keep on doing that. I did the first area, but once you're done, you can just reset the mission and go again. With that done, our next objective is to eliminate elite enemies while having at least 30 defense stacks. Now, this again will happen naturally if you just play anything. I did this on Retaliation and just did Black Tusk Retaliation. I knocked off a few things on Retaliation all at the same time. But yeah, you just got to kill elite enemies while having 30 defense stacks. So just make sure your defense stacks are at 30, which again, if you really just want to make sure of it, go to defense, throw on saturate, and that's going to give a big boost to your defense there. It's 45 stacks, and when I'm killing elites, they'll be counting. And then we have to inflict status effects while having at least 30 utility stacks 40 times. So we did this before with the foam. We're going to do the same again. We're just going to go and throw on a skill build. We're then going to put on a foam chem launcher. And once we've got a foam chem launcher on, we do need to have the 30 stacks in utility. So I'm going to use the passive modifiers to make that happen. I can just throw on the utility saturate, and that will boost my utility the most. So as long as you got 30 more utility stacks there, exactly the same as before. You can farm this here at Viewpoint Museum. This is how I did it. And you need to get 40 this time. It's a little bit more than the objective we had earlier, but it doesn't take too long. Just be careful of hostile modifiers reducing your stacks. So if it's not counting, but I'm just going to foam these guys. And then I'm just going to wait until the foam comes off and then foam them again. And just keep on doing this. And I'll keep on restarting the mission and just keep doing the same thing. When they break out of that foam there, I can just throw another one, and that's going to count again. Like I said, just restart the mission, keep on doing this, you'll soon get it. And then we need to eliminate enemies while all 3 module stacks are equal. We've got to do 50 of them. This very easy. Just make sure you don't have any passive modifiers on, and all of your stacks are going to be equal. So once they're fully leveled, it's 20, 20, 20. So as long as offense, defense, and utility are equal, getting kills are going to count. And then next, we need to eliminate enemies while having at least 50 offense, defense, or utility stacks. So not all of them have to be 50 here, but we just go into our modifiers and make sure at least one of them is 50, whichever one that you want to make 50. So saturate's a good one. That's going to give you 25 right away, and if you've got it fully leveled up on the active modifiers, you're going to get more stacks. Okay, so you'll have 20 to start. That'll make 25, and then you can increase it some more. I can throw on another 5 here, so I'm already at 50, but you can use 3. So then I've got one that adds 10 as well, and I've got up to 60. As long as it's 50 or more on one of these, doesn't need to be offense, it could be defense or utility. 50 or more, just get kills and it'll count. And then the last objective for Journey Mission 7 is to eliminate enemies while having less than 10 offense, defense, or utility stacks. So again, it's all, you don't need to get them all less than 10, just one of them. So again, it's the same as the one above really, where you need to have at least one at 50. This time you got to have at least one less than 10 and get 50 kills. So if we go over to our modifiers, we need to make it so one of these is less than 10. And how we're going to do that is we're going to use an offense one here, and we're going to use consume offense, which is going to increase my offense stacks but decrease defense and utility. Then we're going to go to the second passive modifier, and we're going to go down to defense consume. This is going to increase defense but decrease offense and utility. That puts utility at 10 right now, which still isn't enough, especially once you've got all the levels maxed out. So there's a third passive modifier we're going to use. We're going to go down to utility, and if we go here, we're going to find one that will decrease utility. This one here, compress. This will decrease utility stacks by 10, but each utility stack will be 50% more potent. What that does is put utility at 0. So we finally got one there at less than 10 stacks, and we're set up and ready to go. As long as we're looking like that, could be offense, defense, or utility. Doesn't matter which one you get down. As long as it's less than 10, get kills, and that objective will be done. And that's Journey Mission 7 finished. Remember, you can skip 2 of these. You don't need to do all of them. Just do 6 out of 8. Complete your Journey Mission. And then you move on to the final Journey Mission, which is Journey Mission 8. Probably the most difficult. And it's not needed unless you want to get all of your passive modifiers, of course. You can pick what passive ones you want. I left my wild cards till last and got all of the passive ones without this. But yeah, or most of the passive ones without this, should I say. You do also get BTSU currency, remember, from the weekly man-up missions as well. So I'm sure you'll be able to get all of the passive ones, bar the wild card, without doing Journey Mission 8. And why I'm saying this is because it's quite a difficult one. You've got to complete Tidal Basin on Legendary, District Union Arena on Legendary, Roosevelt Island on Legendary, Capitol Building on Legendary, Manning National Zoo on Legendary. You've then got to complete the Iron Horse Raid, the Dark Hours Raid, and the Paradise Lost Incursion. I thought this was brilliant. I know a lot of people are not going to like this because they're not in a position to be able to take these on, which is unfortunate. Join our Discord. If you join our Discord, it's linked in the video description. There'll be people helping with this sort of thing. I left 2 out because we did my whole journey in one sitting. It's something that we do every time a new season comes out. I was about 18, 19 hours in when I finished Journey Mission 8, and I just left it there and went to bed. But I'm going to get back on and finish the last 2 legendaries to get the journey 100%. Probably in stream today after I do this video. But yeah, you're going to need help with this. Now, I haven't really got any guides, right? I've got some raid guides on the channel, but for raids, you need an 8-person squad. It's not just about doing this solo. Paradise Lost, you're not really going to do solo. Legendaries can be done solo, but they're very difficult. What I'm going to do is make a point. I've got beginner content coming out on the channel right now. I'll make a point to include all of my beginner content for this season. It might help you a little bit if you've got some friends to play with or anything. So over the course of this season, I'll redo my raid guides, my incursion guide, and my legendary guide, so get them on the channel. They might be of benefit to you. But the absolute best thing you can do if you want to get these done is like join the Discord, meet people, see if you can get help from people. We have loads of people helping on every platform with raids daily. I've got people helping with the incursion as well. There's people LFGing for legendaries. You can matchmake legendaries. You can matchmake the incursion. So you might get lucky by matchmaking in with a team that know what they're doing, and you'll be able to get them done. But it is some of the toughest content in the game. For the raids, you can't matchmake them. I'm not sure if the discovery versions of those raids will count or not. Do let me know in the comments if they do. That is a matchmakeable activity with the discovery version of the raids, and they're very easy to do, to be honest with you. So it might be that you can get them done that way. The incursion, no, it's just the normal version, but it is matchmakeable. But that's it. That is the final journey mission. And that brings us to the end of our journey guide for this season. I hope it's been helpful there. I hope it's answered any questions that you may have had with any of the objectives. Obviously, post anything down in the comment section if you've got more questions and I've not covered it here. I'll try and answer them. Post any of your tips down there as well, so when people are reading through the comments, they can read your tips, not just mine. And let's make it a good resource for people looking to get the journey done this season. But that is the end of the video. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe for more content. There's a few here that are a little bit tricky. I might do separate videos for. I've took notes of 3 of the objectives as we've been going along there. I'll make separate videos for. I normally make individual videos for the more trickier ones. I think they're all relatively straightforward though. There's 3 we might make some individual videos for. But thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope it has been helpful. Until the next one, take care.